Hello everybody, it is Ellie Diecast, and today's episode is meant to get some Christmas cars in before Christmas, or we're going to be looking at Christmas cars after Christmas. So, also, I'm going to start off with a few customs I made. So, many of you have been asking, what about my customs? Have I still been doing them? I have. I haven't been finishing them. I've been starting many of them, so there haven't been as many to see. But if you follow me on Instagram, and you should follow me on Instagram, if you don't, at LE Diecast on Instagram, I will be showing them there, even the progress. So the ones that don't get finished, you'll still see there. So these are the last two that I got done. Both are Torinos. You know, big surprise. Both Torinos, and both of them started as paint tests, which I do a lot of. I don't show it much on the show because it's kind of boring, and well, I've tried and not too many people are interested in the paint tests. So I do a lot of paint tests. Even the customs that get finished, chances are that car's been painted 5 or 6 times. I just keep stripping the paint off and starting over. But some interesting things going on here. I'll start with this gold one. We'll drive this guy off for a second. But this gold one here, let me get this guy down a little bit. There we go. Not much going on in the car. That's probably the plainest custom I've done in ever, possibly. Usually I cover the thing with tampos and crazy stuff, so not this one. This was a, let me remember, this was a gold paint that, I'm trying to remember. I remember what it was. I used a gold leaf. It's a liquid gold leaf that you can buy at Hobby Lobby, and I think any brand would do. Anything that's super sparkly. It was acrylic. I watered it down and sprayed it on the car as an undercoat. And then I sprayed a yellow acrylic on top of it. And so if I move it, you'll see it's got like a gold flake to it. And the scale of the gold flake, probably not really correct for this 164, but that's kind of what you get usually with this. But I really like that effect, and it was a liquid gold leaf, watered it down, acrylic, and sprayed it on as the base coat. I put a primer coat on it first, I guess I should mention that. So I painted it with a white primer, and then a gold leaf, and then sprayed over the top of that with a yellow. And it's hard to see, I don't know if that's even going to show up in the camera, but I wanted to play with my airbrush on a real low setting, and so I outlined the windows with a darker orange to try to start highlighting parts of the car. I've seen that done before, and here it didn't really show up much because I didn't want to overdo it, but I'm going to do that more and more. So there's actually some tonal changes over that car. I don't think they're probably going to show up in the video much at all, but yeah. And I don't remember at all where those wheels came from. Those might have been wheels that were just in my empty wheel bin. I thought they looked good on there. So yeah, another Talladega for the collection. And this guy was another paint test. This one was made up of the same gold leaf sprayed over a gray primer. And what I was trying to get was a red. It turned out to be a purple, and I just kind of went with it because the final color I put over the top of this was a crimson color, but it turned out this kind of magenta. And I'll kind of move this so you can see what's going on with it. There is a little bit of, I guess you call it gold leaf or metallic flake going on there. But for the most part, I put that top coat on thicker because I wasn't real happy how it was coming out until I got to the end. And then I masked off the bottom. I actually chose to do that because I dropped this one as I was painting it, and there was a little chink in the paint, so I decided to just mask it with some flames, and this is much more my style. Those rims are custom rims that I bought at the last LA convention, and boy, I wish I could give credit to the person who made those. And somebody down below can post if you recognize them. I know I've seen them on Instagram, and I had the card with all the intention of giving credit to those rims, whoever made them, and I've lost the card. I don't know what happened to it. I've seen this person on Instagram a lot. I went back and tried to find him and I couldn't find it. I'm sure I'll run across it in the next couple days. I'll post it if I find it, but if anybody recognizes who made those rims, please post below and we'll give them credit and see if we can't sell some rims for them. But yeah, those rims I thought were neat. They're really much more for like a tuner car, but I'm not going to be doing any tuner cars anytime soon, and I wanted to use them. I have a few more, so I'm going to use them. They're slicks, and I'd probably be happier if they were treaded, but I'll live with it. I like them. I think they match the car pretty well. I know that they're not exactly those types of rims would not be on that car, but that's all right. I masked the top, and I used some water slides that I have made or came from the massive water slide collection that I have. I don't know if I printed those or bought those, to tell you the truth. They're all mixed together. So yeah, like this car quite a bit. By the way, they all roll, so if you're wondering, they all roll. Yeah, pretty neat. One thing I'll mention, the glaze on this, I'll show you this one again real quick. I don't know if I can get the light to crawl across that, but they're polished. So after I spray them, I polish them. I find that a lot of the guys doing customs will spray these numerous times with the enamel coat. So you'll see like posted on eBay that they've sprayed them 6 times or something. I find when I spray them a lot, like for the purpose of making them shiny, that all I do is the enamel just starts filling in the gaps and they just look a little gooey to me if I overspray too many coats on them. I'll put about 3 light coats of enamel on it, but then I polish them. So I go back in and sand them. And it depends on the car how I do that. I'll show a video on how I sand them, because some cars are easier than others. These Torinos are usually pretty easy. But I'll just sit there for about an hour and polish them with lower and lower grades of sandpaper, and to get that shininess. Well, what I wanted to point out, this is the clear enamel. Rust-Oleum clear enamel is what I used on this one. This one was the Rust-Oleum satin finish, and it's not satin. When you polish satin, it's not satin anymore. Well, I knew that. I didn't like the satin finish on it at all. I thought the satin finish looked ugly. And I don't know if the satin finish is new or if it's just the first time my Home Depot's carried it, so I gave it a try. I'll try it out again, but the nice thing about it is if I don't like the way the satin looks, I can just polish it. And it just turns into clear. The satin finish has to do with the actual texture, and so if you sand the texture off, it's not satin anymore. I also got the matte, and I haven't played with that yet, so I'll give that a try. So there's those two. Let's take a look at the Christmas cars. So let's get everything in here all set up. I'll be right back after I get my camera set up. Okay, we're back. Yeah, this was a 5-car series that I believe these are Walmart exclusives. Not sure. My Walmart's been very flaky over the last year, so it's been hit and miss. I picked these up about a month, maybe even 2 months ago. They've been sitting here for a while waiting for Christmas to get closer. Hot Wheels does this every year. A couple things I'll note about this series. Only 5 in the series. Again, there's your 5. None of these cars are particularly interesting to me. That Purple Passion might be the only one that I would usually get if I wasn't getting the series. Again, I don't really get where they're going with the castings they pick for these special editions. It just doesn't have enough of a footprint. This Dairy Delivery is by far the biggest of them, but you can't do much with these cars. And then the colors they're picking, a lot like the 4th of July cars that came out a while back, just are weird colors. I don't know that they really say Christmas to me, so we'll take a look at that. Anyways, here's your Dairy Delivery. That one is a favorite. There was a time when that one would actually get bought up. Not anymore. It's a little mini Dairy Delivery, a little baby Dairy Delivery. Kind of like a monster truck. Not a fan of the green tires, but hey, it's Christmas, so what you gotta do? You're gonna get some green tires. And we'll do a real close-up there so you can see the very tiny symbols they've come up with to fit on the tiny cars. Christmassy. I mean, you got snowflakes and so forth. That one is not bad. That chassis color does not say Christmas. I'm not sure where mustard yellow became a Christmas color, but whoever made these does like browns and mustard yellow. So here is, I guess, the second one. We'll do these in the order that they're on the back. That is the Sabre. Oh, they are ordered right up here. There's a 2 out of 5. That is the Sabre. Sabre, a car that I would not have picked for this. Sabre looks a lot like, was it El Fasto? I think it's El Fasto that has that removable top on it. Again, I think that's supposed to be kind of a gold, I don't know. White tires, gold trim, that's nice. Little Santa on it, nice little touch. Nothing really on the top. As the colors go, this one is fine for Christmas, I guess. But just nothing really particularly special about it for Christmas. I mean, they could really make these fun if they just used cars that had a little bit more space. Here is number 3. This is the Scorcher, and the one I probably have the most problem with. There is nothing that says Christmas about this one. I think maybe it was going to be kind of a coppery color, maybe sort of Christmas, but there ain't nothing that says Christmas about this car. If this card wasn't on that, have Santa up there, nobody would even care about this car. I mean, you could make it red, you could make it green, you could do a lot with this, but that one does not say Christmas. So, poor Scorcher. Here's a close-up of Scorcher. Oh, I got it there. He does have a little snowflake on it. Holiday with the date, 2016. But yeah, I don't know. That one doesn't scream Christmas to me. And of course, silver is Christmassy, I guess. This one looks almost gray to me. If we were going to do silver, maybe a little chrome or something on there would be nice, but this one is Bedlam. They've done a pretty good job of fitting some graphics on there in a small spot. I just don't know why they keep picking cars where they have to force themselves to pick small areas. Maybe it has something to do with the cost of printing, or what cars they need to renew or make sure they get into circulation. I don't know. Another one with colored wheels. Don't mind the colored wheels, I guess, on these holiday cars. That's kind of there for fun. Last one is the Purple Passion. And the Purple Passion is not always purple. I believe the first one that came out was purple, and it's kept its name ever since. One of the older castings, a favorite of many customizers for lots of reasons. It's a classic design, obviously, but it does give you a lot of room to work with. It's also one of the easier cars to polish and to work with. Not a lot of little bumps on it to wreck your paint job on, so it is a favorite. That is probably my favorite one of the set. I don't know that blue is what stands out to me as Christmassy. I would have maybe picked a green or a crimson color or something, but I think it's probably the nicest looking one of the set. We'll get a little close-up of that. And it's got that little snowflake logo. White tires. So that is the 2016 set. Not much there this year, but well, I guess we're lucky we got something. They're probably at your Walmart now. They've been showing up for a couple months. They always show up early. So that's going to do it for today. Merry Christmas, and keep an eye out for some more fun stuff. See you later. Bye bye.